What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and we have even more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaks to cover, and this leak is regarding the brand new Pokemon Presents that might be coming sooner than you think. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider joining the Pan fam today by hitting that join channel member button below. So let's dive in. So the leak originally began with Pokemon Masters EX. If you don't know what that game is a mobile game where you play with different gym leaders or characters and have a partner Pokemon and you do like mobile game battles or whatever. So Nimona is going to be added to the game, and we got her official art. And what's important about this Nimona update is usually when there's like a new generation or something like that, they usually have a Masters update pretty immediately, but this has been relatively late. I mean, it's been almost a full year since the release of the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So it's like, okay, we're getting Nimona. We have the Pokemon anime up and running. Everything's going for Scarlet and Violet. But there is something very interesting about Pokemon Masters. When we look into the data mine of the Masters update, because you can do that on like Android or something like that, you can get the data and you can look through the code. Nimona Poke Fair Scout starting on August 8th, 2023. Now, this was in the game code. We don't have any official news on this, but the Nimona event is going to begin on August 8th. Now, in the past, we have seen Pokemon Presents have all the mobile games, like the mainline games and all that, but usually they have events announced at these Pokemon Presents. So expect this Nimona event to start the same day as a Pokemon Presents, which is probably going to be August 8th, 2023. Now, we don't know what the exact time it'll start, but they usually start fairly early in the morning. But this is a really good hint, a very strong hint, and technically a leak that we are getting the Pokemon Presents about in 2 weeks from now. And the explanation from here is usually the first character of a new gen in Masters is released earlier among all updates. However, Nimona's release is suspiciously late at the time Pokemon Presents normally takes place. So now we can go into the theory crafting of what are we going to see at this upcoming Pokemon Presents on August 8th, 2023. And once again, more confirmation, it is literally within the code. It says campaign Pokemon Presents with the start date, end date, and all that stuff. So we literally know the Pokemon Presents is happening on August 8th. Now, what will we see at this Pokemon Presents? Well, one, I will say this. We're going to see an update for pretty much every single mobile game. Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Masters EX, Pokemon Cafe, and whatever other mobile games there are for Pokemon now. There's too many to count. We're going to see probably updates for those, but this channel doesn't cover those games. Now, the important thing is we're probably going to be finally getting the release date for the Teal Mask. So last time they said the Teal Mask is releasing fall 2023, and they said Indigo this was winter 2023, which I still don't believe them on that. I do at the very least think we're going to be getting a full release date with an actual full date, not a window, for the Teal Mask. And if they are fitting an Indigo disc this year as well, which I'm still unsure about that, Teal Mask has to be earlier in the fall period. So I would be guessing maybe late September, early October for Teal Mask. And then I can see Indigo disc if they fit it into 2023, like late mid-November, early December. But if Teal Mask is somewhere like late October or early November, then Indigo disc has no shot of being in 2023, and it's going to be like a January, February update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in 2024. So just keep your expectations in check. I do think we'll get another trailer, maybe just focusing on the Teal Mask itself, because the trailers so far have been both Teal Mask and Indigo disc. We haven't actually seen promotion that is just for Teal Mask, so I do expect some sort of gameplay for Teal Mask being shown off. I expect some more returning Pokemon, and maybe even finally a brand new Pokemon. We talked about in previous leak videos recently how there is going to be a new regional form, or a regional fake, so-called, coming to the DLC that might be in the Teal Mask. So we may see that brand new Pokemon here as well, which would be really exciting. Now, speaking of updates, I said there's going to be mobile game updates, but there's going to be an update for Scarlet and Violet before the DLC comes out, because we just had the Rillaboom event. And yes, next week there will be more Rillaboom, but what is the next raid going to be? We have gone through all the starters that are currently in the game code right now, and we've already seen in the game code in previous leak videos I've done on the channel about the upcoming Mewtwo Raid. And I do think August 8th, they are going to announce the upcoming 7-star raid for Mewtwo. And it's going to be a whole thing with Mew. I'm not sure if we're going to have to bring our own Mew, or maybe we beat the Mewtwo, we get a Mew or something, because there's a whole thing. If we bring Mewtwo to raid, you're going to get a 20% buff to all of Mew's stats besides the HP. So we're going to have to see how this goes down. I wonder what the reward is just besides a Mewtwo. Maybe it is just literally you get to catch a Mewtwo. In Sword and Shield, you couldn't catch the Mewtwo. It was just like you beat Mewtwo and you get a bunch of good rewards. So maybe it's just reward based. Maybe you get to catch a Mewtwo. Hey, maybe it'll be shiny Mewtwo or something like that. Maybe we actually like a storyline to it. Who knows what it's going to be, but it's Game Freak. I'm expecting the minimum, and I think my expectations for this is 7-star Mewtwo raid. You get to catch it with the Mightiest Mark. But if you do have Mew, you're going to get the 20% buff to all your stats besides HP. So I think it's going to be cool to finally do that. Of course, I'll be covering this raid and all guides for it in the future once they finally announce it. Now, besides the mainline Pokemon stuff, there's some other things we can talk about. We're going to probably see another trailer for Detective Pikachu Returns. This is releasing on October 4th. I'm pretty excited for it. I think it'll be a pretty fun game. But the first trailer didn't really show any gameplay, so I'm expecting like a deeper dive gameplay trailer this time around. It makes sense. I don't expect any other new Pokemon games to be announced during this Pokemon Presents, because we already have the 2 DLCs supposedly for this year, and we have another Pokemon game with Detective Pikachu Returns. I'm not expecting any other new Pokemon games being released this year. Usually they save those kind of announcements in February when the Pokemon Day Presents happens, and that's maybe when we'll see something like a Gen 5 announcement for remakes, or like a Legends Gen 5 game, or maybe a new Let's Go game. Now, another thing that I do think will definitely happen is we're going to be getting Pokemon Stadium 2 on Nintendo Switch Online. They announced Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 at the same time. We got Pokemon Stadium 1 a few months ago, but you're still waiting for Pokemon Stadium 2. Pokemon Stadium 2, awesome game. It's definitely way better than 1 in my opinion. So I do think it's time. They said it's coming out this year months ago. So I do think it's finally time to drop Pokemon Stadium 2. I could even see it as a shadow drop, like it'll come out later on August 8th. So that'll be really fun. And of course, if they do it, I will definitely stream it. And another thing, this is sort of like the Hail Mary right here. Will we finally get the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games for Nintendo Switch Online? I mean, those libraries are pretty bare right now for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. If you have looked through the NSO, I think each one has maybe like 10 to 15 games. It's not a lot, and these games are very popular. Of course, the Pokemon games are probably the most popular handheld games in that era. So I'll be surprised if we don't see any of them get announced. But at the same time, I can see Pokemon coming and be like, well, we can actually probably have people buy these separately on the eShop and not be included within Nintendo Switch Online. Because it's not up to Nintendo to make the decision. It is up to Pokemon Company. They want to put their games onto Nintendo Switch Online. So we're going to have to wait and see. But I would totally love, at the very least, if we got red, blue, and yellow. That's my bare minimum. But of course, you know, red, blue, and yellow, and like at the very least, like fire red and leaf green on GBA, that would be really cool just to have those. Of course, if we get all the GBA and GB games, that would be the best outcome, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Well, there we have it, guys. Look forward to the upcoming Pokemon Presents on August 8th. And of course, let me know in the comment section below what you hope to see during the Pokemon Presents. I do think it's going to be a pretty good showcase, but I'm not expecting any brand new video games being shown off. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider joining the Pan Fam today by hitting that join channel member button below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.